Davao City is a gateway to Mindanos, one of the Philippines' largest islands, and home to Mt. Apo, one of the highest mountains in the archipelago. In Davao City, lovers of durian can eat their fill beneath a sculpture dedicated to the pungent fruit. The economy of Davao region grew by 8.1% in 2022, as measured by the Gross Regional Domestic Product and Gross Regional Domestic Expenditure. It was valued at 954.1 billion pesos in 2022 from about 882.2 billion pesos in 2021, an estimated increase of 71.9 billion pesos comparing the two periods. The 2022 level had already surpassed the pre-pandemic level in 2019 by 53.2 billion pesos. All major industries of GRDP, except electricity, steam, water and waste management posted growth in 2022. Accommodation and food service activities recorded the fastest among industries at 35.6%, which was followed by transportation and storage at 28.7% and mining and quarrying at 27.6%. Meanwhile, only ESWW posted a decline of -2.0%. Services accounted for 59.9% to the region's economy in 2022. Industry shared 24.8% while agriculture, forestry and fishing contributed the least to the total economy of Region 11 with 15.3% share. Of the region's total services, which was estimated at 571.1 billion pesos, wholesale and retail trade and repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles industry accounted for the biggest share with 40.3%. Followed by financial and insurance activities with 12.0% share. Other services accounted for the least share with only 1.9%. Meanwhile, of the total industry estimated at 236.6 billion pesos, manufacturing had the biggest share, with 44.1%. Followed by construction, which accounted for 41.3% share. Electricity, steam, water, and waste management accounted for 10.6% share. And mining and quarrying contributed the least with only 4.0% share. Of the overall 8.1% economic performance of the region, 6.0 percentage points came from services, 1.6 percentage points from industry, and 0.5 percentage point contributed by agriculture, forestry and fishing. During the pandemic in 2020, all industries declined except agriculture, forestry, and fishing, electricity, steam, water and waste management, information and communication, financial and insurance activities, and public administration and defense. Compulsory social activities. 5 industries have yet to recover from the pandemic. Among these industries are construction, transportation and storage, accommodation and food service activities, real estate and ownership of dwellings, and other services. With the recorded increase in Davao region's GRDP, almost all of the expenditure items recorded an increase in 2022. Imports of services from the rest of the world posted the highest growth, with 25.6%. It was followed by exports of services to the rest of the world, with 21.4%. And breeding stocks and orchard development, with 13.7%. On the other hand, bottom expenditure items in terms of growth were exports of goods to rest of the world with -5.6%, durable equipment with -2.6%, and valuables with 1.5%. As to the contribution to growth, household final consumption expenditure contributed the most with 5.2 percentage points to the 8.1% overall economic growth of Davao region in 2022. It was followed by construction with 2.2 percentage points. In 2022, the per capita GRDP, or the GDP of every Davaoeño was estimated at 175,013 pesos, translating to an increase of 6.6% from the 164,243 pesos recorded per capita GRDP in 2021. Meanwhile, the per capita household final consumption (HFCE), or the household spending for every person, increased by 6.5% from 106,736 pesos in 2021 to 113,631 pesos in 2022. Cebu City, considered the center of economic and commercial activities in the Visayas-Mindanao region, posted the highest growth. State statisticians recorded a growth of 6.9% in Cebu City's economy for the entire year of 2021 after its gross city domestic product reached P266 billion. It also serves as the regional center of Central Visayas, and its metropolitan area exerts influence on commerce, trade, industry, education, culture, tourism, and healthcare beyond the region, over the entire Visayas and partly over Mindanao. It is the Philippines' main domestic shipping port and is home to about 80% of the country's domestic shipping companies. Everything is within reach. Living in Cebu City means you're surrounded with a variety of establishments such as convenience stores, malls, hospitals, and restaurants that are open 24/7. One of the biggest contributing factors to Cebu's growth is its construction boom. Since the demand for residential areas, commercial spaces, and office buildings has risen significantly, both the private sector and government agencies involved were driven to satisfy the area's growing needs. It's a hub for culture, food, commerce, and entertainment. This is why it's no surprise that many people are choosing to pack their bags to secure a house and lot in Cebu. The province isn't just a place to escape death, it's a place where you can enjoy life and make the most out of every day. Cebu has the distinction of being the oldest city in the Philippines. Far from stasis, however, the city has continued to reinvent itself over the years to adapt to the times. That sensibility of being able to recreate lies at the heart of the latest developments in the modernization of Cebu. Infrastructure plays a major role. Aside from the redevelopment of the Mactan Cebu International Airport, other projects like the bus rapid transit and the Cebu-Cordova Bridge promise to stimulate the local economy and improve the quality of life for all Cebuanos. In its origin story, Cebu evolved into a trading hub where its land could not support agriculture, thus becoming a crossroads for merchants from all over the ASEAN and China. This explains how Cebuanos managed to create something out of nothing. Both their can-do attitude and indomitable spirit still prevail today. Other areas which highlight the strength of Cebuanos are the growing BPO and IT industries. Combined, these industries employ about 100,000 people, with the city targeting a 20% market share of all BPO services coming from the Philippines. These industries benefit from homegrown talent coming from Cebu's educational institutions, such as the University of San Carlos, one of the oldest in Asia, and one of the finest in the Philippines. The Philippines' greatest asset is its people, and Cebu contributes to this in a major way. At the onset of the 21st century, Cebu remains at the forefront of regional economic development. Capitalizing on its trading heritage, its traditional role as a crossroads city with its revitalized infrastructure, and can-do spirit, Cebu brings together tourists and investors to catalyze growth for many years to come. Surpassed only by Manila in size, the Philippines' second city combines colonial architecture and mountainous surrounds with a burgeoning cultural and culinary scene. As the gateway to both Bohol and Cebu Island, Cebu City impresses with chic rooftop bars and intriguing museums.